Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Anchor in the Light broadcast. My name is Ashley. I'm a life coach, and I am so excited to chat with you guys today about this insanely important topic. On these broadcasts, we are always finding more ways to anchor in the light on planet Earth and help through the ascension process and the transition to our new Earth and the fifth dimension. So, I mentioned talking about this last week, and this is something that is very important and maybe overlooked in some ways, but it's about our children. And even if you don't have children, it's about the children that are on Earth right now, and the children that are coming onto Earth right now, and what their importance is, and what their kind of role is in this whole thing. And they are not how, many of us, in the past, if you are, 20 years or older, have come to Earth, maybe to heal karmatic cycles. Maybe we were healing generational trauma. Maybe we were going through our own life lessons, all those things. Like we were healing patterns of trauma and trauma and trauma and clearing that out. Well, the children of now, of 20 years and under, they are completely different. They have come here for a completely different reason. They came to be of service to Earth in a way that will uplift the planet. They're already primed and ready, and they're equipped with so much light in their bodies to be able to show humanity new Earth and the energies of new Earth and to be able to create it. So it's really important to make sure that we're not instilling fear in the children of today. And oftentimes they won't even accept it. You can try and try and try. And I don't know how many other people have noticed, but just during this last year, how many children have been speaking out about things. And have been, saying no and saying this isn't right, even as young as, 3, 4, 5 years old. So it's really interesting as to what they are here to do. And also, they're star children. They are so powerful. So whenever, maybe if you have questions or if you are unsure of something, ask a child. They'll give you the right answer. They are so insanely connected to their intuition. They are our teachers. We can learn so much from them. They are here to show us the way. We are not here to tell them what to do. We are not here to instill fear into them. We are not here to own them. They are our way showers. And the amount of information and just intuitive guidance that they have is just unmeasurable. So we have to honor that and not suppress it, not try to hide it, not try to put them back in reality. I know there's so many parents and, people out there that think that they're truly just helping their kids by bringing them into reality, by telling them the realities of life and all these things. But it's really the other way around. And if we would just listen for just a moment to our children, we could learn so much, and we would get so much insight as to how the world is going to be and how it should be. So when in doubt, ask a child. If they say no, then believe them. If they say yes, believe them. Also, their telepathic communication is so strong. It's truly amazing how strong their communication is. And that's something that just as humanity as a whole is growing stronger and stronger and stronger. Telepathy is very, very, it's a superpower that we all have, but it's very much tuned out per se, and maybe made as to not possible or not a thing or whatever. However, if you are a tapped in, tuned in, turned on individual and you have your kids in your house and things like that, and maybe you've noticed, like I have, that it's strong, especially within your own family and, your connections. As to, you might be in another room and then think of something, and then your child may say it, or you might think, oh, I want to go eat some ice cream, and then your kid says the same thing, not, 2 seconds later. So it's really interesting. But I have this little note from a lot of what I have been studying about children, about the star children and things. So I'm going to share that with you guys. It basically says, the star children of the light, they are right now, they're coping with the shadows because this is not normal to them. The way that this whole world is not normal to them. So they incarnated to be of service, not to clear karma. They have come from the light and are equipped to lead the world to in the ascended energies. They are primed and aligned with the future energies, not the present ones. They communicate telepathically. All current systems are unfit for them because these systems do not serve humanity and do not align with the higher vibrations and higher consciousness. They are 5D ready. So basically what that means is that, all of these systems that are on Earth, our monetary system, our religious system, our, political system, all those things, they don't resonate with them. And that's why everything is crumbling right now, because the children are of such higher vibrational energies of the fifth dimension that those systems can no longer stay in place because they're not serving humanity. They never were. And the children are not going to allow that to happen. And, you might think, well, they're not actually doing anything. How is that possible? But even though they may be young, their energy is so strong and so powerful. One person connected to source energy is more powerful than a million who are not. So imagine how many children these days are just subconsciously here for a mission. They might not know exactly what their mission is yet. Maybe not all of them. A lot of them do, and they just know. They're very straightforward and blunt and honest, and they know what they're here to do, and they're not going to stop. They're not going to allow some, dictatorship and authoritarian power or what I'm trying to say, overextended power of government to take that out of them. They're not going to allow it to shut them down, regardless of how old they are or whatever. They are here in their energy, and they are just insanely powerful. They are more powerful than any government that you can even imagine. So this is why we have to take note of what they are doing and what they are saying and what they are feeling, and always validate their feelings. It can be very hard right now if you are, especially if you have kids, that that are tapped into this, and like I said, all of the children under 20 are, and so it can be very confusing as parents as well if you're not quite understanding what they're here for. So it's always important to validate their feelings. They too have symptoms of current crumbling energies. So they can still feel this on a very deep level, even though they are such higher vibrational feelings. They are still feeling energies. They are still feeling the crumbling of and the dismantling of the third dimension and all of those toxic vibrations and timelines and things like that. They are still feeling that. So it can be very overwhelming to them as well. We have to also validate their confusion and overwhelm and have empathy. Listen to understand, not to solve. So a lot of times, if we're so rooted in the current, how it's always been, then it's going to be hard for parents and people to validate how they're feeling and to have empathy and listen to what they're saying. They just want to kind of correct them. Well, no, that's not possible. That's not how the world is. So you feel like you have to step in and correct it so that maybe you're, helping them. And truly, a lot of parents are doing it just because they feel like they're helping their kids. They don't realize what their kids are here for, and maybe they feel like that's their way of keeping their kids, level-headed or whatever, and safe, and protect them in a way. So it's not like they're doing it out of, harm or anything like that. It's just they don't know any different. And there are still a lot of people out there that don't know that there's a better world available to us and that's going to be available to us very soon. So it's really interesting to be able to see children and listen to their conversations. And maybe if you're not around children, it might be happy to be around children and just kind of get some insight in a way, and I'm not talking about like just go and just kind of stalk children or anything like that, but just go to the park and just listen to the children play, listen to them, just relax and just listen to their stories, their whatever. Um, and of course, if you have your own children, listen to them, ask them questions about the future, ask them questions about the world. Be very curious and don't object to anything that they say. Just listen to understand what they're saying, because half the time, I'm sorry, not half the time, all of the time, they're going to be right. They're going to know. They already have that intuitive knowledge. They were put here to create a better world for ourselves, for humanity. So we have to also nurture them where they are and on this path. They're not here to go to school, be indoctrinated, and then go to college, work 40 hours for 40 years and live very low key. Like, that's not what they're here for. And that's not how the world's going to look moving forward. So, and they know that. So that's why, they're very, very rooted in not, there's so many children nowadays that are not resonating with regular, indoctrination, the indoctrination system anymore. They want to be home, they want to be, they want to do their own thing. They want to learn in their own way, aka unschooling. And that is why. And that is why also this whole last year, that has also given parents to understand that their kids learn better not in school, or not in that type of system. And moving forward with the quantum education system, it's going to look so different. It's going to be so much of a high vibrational system that is promoting growth and individuality and consciousness in our children. It's going to be amazing. So that's what they came here for. And so that's what's being created right now. So, a lot of people want to fight back against the current systems and the current things. But to be honest, it's best to just disconnect yourself. If you feel like your kid is not thriving in school, if you feel like you want something different, disconnect out of it. That is the best way to break apart and collapse the system, is to just disconnect from it. Stop giving it your energy. And that's how things are going to change even faster. So, and the kids are already doing this, because the kids nowadays, when they go to school, and even I did this in school, and, I'm more than 20 years old, obviously, but even the kids that go to school nowadays, and they hear things, or they're being told history or science or whatever, and they're calling them out. They're calling them out because they know it's not true. Their intuition is too strong to be indoctrinated anymore. They can't be lied to, and they're not going to tolerate it. So, so many children are just not resonating with it anymore, and they're making sure to let the teachers, the parents, all the people know. So this is a system that is systematically, put in place to keep people down, and it's not happening anymore. So, during this time, if you have children in your house that are very, of the last 20 years, it's really important to make sure that we're nurturing them. And we're nurturing their vibrations, their energy, and all the things. And this is going to look very different than, how it did maybe when you were growing up or whatever. It's going to look very different. So we have to, prioritize certain things, prioritize health. Kids are targeted when it comes to food. They are targeted to be able to keep them down, to be able to keep them hyperactive, to be able to keep them, almost in. So it makes it look like they need prescriptions. They need all those things, right? If you go and even if you just look at the cereal aisle in the store and they call that breakfast, look at how many grams of sugar, look at how many artificial colors, dyes, flavors, all those things are just in cereal. Okay, and parents are supposed to give those to their children and then send them off to school, and then they wonder why their kids can't sit still during class. Well, number one, they're not meant to, but number two, that's just amping it up. So you have to be very mindful of that. So, and obviously the food the food revolution has already begun. Because people get it now. They're understanding that. So, as we move forward, those things aren't going to be a thing anymore. But again, it's best to just connect from that system. So maybe if you are someone who eats all those, artificial colors, dyes, high sugar, high fructose corn syrup and pop and all these kids drinks and sports drinks and all the things, that's a good point to start, disconnecting from and kind of going the other direction. Because once you get rid of those out of your diet, number one, your consciousness is going to rise. Number two, your vibration is going to rise, and you're going to be more tapped into and turned on because you're going to be vibrating at a higher level. You're going to understand things a lot better. You're going to see things a lot clearer. You're not going to be able to be held down and suppressed. Even though it might have been unconsciously that it was happening to you, you're going to notice a difference, and especially within our children. So it's really important to make sure that they are getting nutrient-dense foods, organic foods, also known as foods before it was manipulated. Really great ideas are like growing your own food, teaching your kids how to grow their own food. That's something that kids are very, very in tune to. So encourage drinking water. So, we pretty much only drink water in our house. We have like fresh pressed juices and stuff like that. But we encourage the drinking of water because water is a very high vibration. Of course, not tap water. I recommend drinking high pH water. And if nothing else, filtered water to get the fluoride out of the water, because that is also, suppressing our children and ourselves as well and keeping everybody down. Fluoride blinds with an aluminum, and obviously you can see where that's going. It creates this toxic environment in your body, lowers your consciousness levels, lowers, your vibration, all the things. Okay, so put those puzzle pieces together. There's so many things that are intertwining and interworking. And, you kind of have to ask yourself, is what I'm putting in my body, in my kid's body, helping them or hurting them? Is this natural or is it not? So, because there's plenty of ways to do things without adding a bunch of chemicals to our food system and our water supply. So you have to ask yourself, why is this being added in if it's not necessary? There's plenty of natural color in the world. Why do we have to put artificial colors in our food? And since when is eating neon green and neon blue food normal? So these are the things that you kind of have to start asking yourself. Maybe you haven't gone down that path yet. The other things is, encourage creativity and friendship with kids. Give them outlets. And this is especially important if you're home all the time, like my kids are. We always encourage creativity. We always have outlets for creativity. This might be something simple as like, having them draw a picture of their imagination, or, cooking, writing something, like building a garden, building things outside, building a fort, whatever it may be. Encourage creativity at least a few times a day. And always integrate play into your life. And this goes for adults too, because whenever we integrate play, number one, we are more of a high vibrational frequency. We're more able to receive good energy. We're more able to impact the world in a better way. Adults are so conditioned to believe that they can't play, or, they have to wait till their work day's done, or they have to wait till they retire, or all this shit that is not true at all. So we have to invigorate play, and the best way to do it is to invigorate play with our kids and have fun and be imaginative and creative. So do something of that nature, that can help, create that bond, but also just create so many healthy, invigorating energies in their bodies and in their lives and in the world. No screen time, spend time with nature, plants, and pets. So, screens are very, my personal opinion, they're not good. I'm not saying that you have to limit them 100%, but, especially for these star children. And if you look, this is why this was implemented, because it was no no secret that the children that are here now are here to change the world. So what was implemented in schools? Most schools have screens. Every kid has a screen in front of them, right? To keep their attention focused on that and that only and nothing else. It's very unhealthy. And above everything else, it's not there to support them. It's there to suppress them. So if we're using screens intentionally, for whatever, to learn to do things, from time to time, that's fine. But when they are put in front of a screen for 8 hours a day, that's not okay. In my opinion, that's not okay. Because it's not, the system was not built to help them thrive. It's helped to keep them down. So that's why I'm not okay with it. Spend time in nature with plants and pets. That's the best thing you can do for them, because number one, pets have such grounding energy. They are so much in the now. It's amazing. So, having pets and being out, going for walks all the time, going to, having a lot of plants in your house, all those things are going to help your kids be grounded, embody that higher vibrational energy and sustain it, without having too many up and down roller coaster rides like adults do. So those things help. Of course, thrive with a nutritious diet. And they're going to flourish. They're going to flourish in this lifetime, regardless of what this last year has been. They have been the catalyst for this last year, of change and of changing the world. They know what they're doing, so they're going to be okay. They were born for this. This is their mission, and it's only going to get better. So they are going to flourish as the energies on the planet lighten and the systems evolve into alignment with them. So as all these systems collapse and all the new systems come into play that are aligned for humanity and for our children, they're going to start to flourish. You're going to see their kids just kind of take off. They're going to be, known as, maybe 5-year-old geniuses, maybe whatever. They're going to be so smart, and the older people are going to be looking at them, to know what to do moving forward, as we should be now. So trust them. We have to trust them. They are the solution, not the problem. They are 100% the solution to the world. They already know. They know everything. So don't instill fear in them, and allow them to take the fear out of you. Ask them questions. If you're fearful of things, ask them questions. They're going to tell you the truth. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you have any other questions on this topic, feel free to drop a comment down below. And I will chat with you guys next week. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.